What are your thoughts?
Yeah, good. Good. Happy to get out of there with a win. Like obviously tough schedule right now. We're playing every 4 days or whatever it is, and trying to manage minutes and manage workloads and everything else, and also try and get some wins along the way. So I thought we played okay in Townsville, considering our roster situation right now, and especially the second game, and walked away with 2 losses. So we can turn back up here with our heads down, or we can try and go get a win. And we did. We continued on what I thought was a larger solid performance in Townsville, then jumped out of the gates here and were able to hold on at the end.
You're changing a lot on the fly. Are you finding that they're adjusting quicker than what you would have initially anticipated?
Yes and no. Well, there's some things that are taking a little bit longer than we thought. As we kind of alluded to, like we had a 10-day break before we played Southside, and we got to change 2 defensive coverages, and we put in 4 new offenses. But then we're the longest clocks in the world, by the way. When Airy went down, we played every 4 days. So almost like we had a pit stop before Southside and we're able to put new tyres in the car, put fuel in the tank, etc., etc. Right now we have a blown tyre midway around the course, and we're trying to fix things whilst the car's still driving. So we literally get 1 training session to tweak a few things and then go out and play again. So it's going to look clunky for a little while yet, so we don't get a decent break for a while. So we're going to play every 4 days. How can we patch this car and keep it on the road for as long as we can? And eventually we'll get Airy back, eventually we'll get the FIBA break, we'll get to properly overhaul it again and start again.
So how do you approach the lack of gap between, when you don't train much, is it a lot of video and walkthroughs, or is it just a lot of instruction and hope they remember it?
No, so really picking, like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like I'm going to take some minutes out of the vitamin work, I'm going to take some minutes out of the scout, we're going to spend longer in film. Like I've got to keep them off their feet, so we've got to keep them fresh. But also the offense we built for Airy, it won't work without her, or won't work anywhere near as well without her, obviously. So trying to overhaul some things. I've also got an S&C coach in my ear, like, oi, you've only got X number of minutes today. Cool, man, but find me 5 more. Like, I'll make it as light as I can, I'll make it as easy as we can. But we want to make sure we're as fresh as we can come game time. If we're a little bit rusty and it's a little bit clunky, so be it, but I need legs. But you're right, at the same time, we're trying to overhaul stuff and get the car on the road.
And we've seen some crazy results from a ladder perspective in the past week or so, where the lower teams have beaten the top teams. To get this one done when you need to beat the lower teams to maintain your buffer on everyone else, how important was that for you?
Yeah, it was more, well, that one, obviously important. 2, more to get a win, to give the girls some belief. Like, obviously, we got through the Canberra game. It was a weird game in the end with Airy going down that night. Like I said before, we went to Townsville, lost 2. Like, we can come back with our tail between our legs. It's like, no, like, we just got next game. So we've never looked forward. We've never gone, like, we had some people talking early on. We got to 8 and 3, like, top 2 and home court. And it's like, get to 12. We don't care about anything else. We don't care about any external noise. We're in a race to try and get to 12 wins. So we're at 9 now. We've got to find 3 more somewhere. And we're not going to get Airy back for a little while yet. So where's the next one? Well, there's a game in Canberra on Thursday night. And that's all we're looking at. When we get through that game, I think we're in Sydney next, and then we're to whoever next. Like, we're only looking at the next opponent, and we'll deal with whatever comes after that. That's
a tricky trip, isn't it? Canberra. Did you get to go direct, or did you lose half the day having to fly somewhere else?
Again, no idea. I just know I know we travel on. Actually, I don't know. We travel Wednesday. There you go, Lauren. Travel Wednesday, play Thursday. No idea how we get there.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just focusing on Adelaide and trying to get a win.
Very good. Thank you.